What's going on? What's going on? Yes, we are back with another intellectual soapbox exclusive, right? And I'm here with my sister Goddess. You know what I'm saying? And we got a really interesting topic for y'all. You know what I mean? Before we get started, you know what I mean? Let me introduce my sister. Sister, how you going on? What's going on? What's good? What's good?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about accountability, owning our emotions. All right. But before we even get started, you know what I mean? Let me take a quick pause for the cause. Recognize you people in the chat that's actually pulled up and showing us some love. We appreciate y'all. Great Pill Podcast, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you, man, for coming through. Drama Free channel, of course. You know I'm gonna keep it drama free, but I'm gonna keep that content coming. That content gonna always keep coming. I got a show tomorrow, and I probably got something on Sunday cooking up, but I kind of forgot what I got Sunday. I got something. I'm doing something on Sunday, but I forget. You know what I mean? And also salute to Lady Phoenix. Good to see you. She's giving her greetings. She says, burning off. Okay, I'm trying to read it. Burn off 5 hours of sleep. Have a blessed PM. I'm trash right now. Oh, okay. Get some sleep, Lady Phoenix. You know what I mean? She's giving a shout out to Sister Goddess right here. You know what I'm saying? Saying hello to her. So yeah, so family, what does it mean to take accountability of our own emotions? What does that mean to you? And what does that mean overall? You know what I'm saying? You can start with relationships, family, children, you know, career, whatever you want to start with. You know what I mean? You know, what does it mean to you?
So we're gonna just start with self. That's really what it comes down to. You know, if we are in a conversation and it escalates, we tend to blame the person because they're the person that's causing the escalation. But that's not true. We own our feelings. They are just creating the situation that's causing the emotions. So if we were to say, it's your fault I'm angry, that's a false statement. I'm angry because I'm angry. You know what I mean? Like, we are so prone to blame everybody else because we want them to make us comfortable. But that's just not a reality that is feasible in many avenues. So own our own emotions. I'm upset because the situation upset me. And then speak on the situation, not the person who caused the situation.
Okay, so you're saying ideally that nobody can actually make us angry. We actually choose anger. There's actually a book I read about that. I haven't actually finished reading it, but it's something that I've kind of delved into a lot. I'm deep into the book. It's called Emotions by Osho, and he was talking about just embracing, you know, anger when it comes to you, like to embrace it and to take it on, right? To not run from it, but to allow it to basically to understand it, embrace it, deal with it, and then move on, right? And the book is about, you know, embracing all emotions, because all emotions, relatively are good, and there's a learning lesson in each emotion. Great book to check it out, y'all. Emotions by Osho. You spell it Osho as it sounds, right? Great book. You can get it anywhere, Amazon, Kindle, wherever you want to find it. But yeah, like that book has taught me a lot about just, you know, kind of, you know, emotional responsibility, right? And accountability. But also, you know, that emotions that we have are not bad, and that they happen for a reason, right? That there's a reason, and then there's a reaction to what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? If I step on your shoe, it's gonna hurt, right? You know what I mean? And you may cry depending on how hard I step on your foot, right? Depending on the how hard I step on it, right? So there's nothing wrong with emotion, and just understanding it and kind of not allowing it to, I guess, to like control you, basically. You know, but we're human, so we have fallacies, right? There's times where, you know what I mean, we may trip a little bit, you know what I mean? And, you know, we may react in a way that's not ourselves, and we have to go back and apologize and, you know what I mean, and make things right. I think everybody goes through that, or everybody has done that. I know I have, and sometimes I still do. Hell, I had to do that today. But yeah, so I think we all go through that. So we all have those human reactions and responses. So yeah, family, what do you think about that?
I agree. It starts when we're kids. You know, we will fight with our siblings and we will say, Becky hit me, and that's the reason we're crying. We don't really talk about the fact that we pulled Becky's hair, threw trash at her. You know, there's no accountability. So we will shortchange ourselves because we are only going to share what is going to make us favorable in the light of whoever we're speaking with. I just don't agree with that. If I'm going to have a conversation, I'm going to be like, well, you know what? I punched her in the face first because she pissed me off, you know, and that's where the escalation happened.
Dang, sister, you punching him in the face nowadays? Yo, oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, I have not gotten that far. But, you know, there's times that you have that kind of anger. And I don't think that many people are given the space to process that because we don't process our big emotions, you know? And so we have situations where we have men who are rejected and they escalate to violence because they don't know how to process the humiliation of that rejection. And that's our fault because we are telling everybody, keep your emotions bottled up. We don't have time for that. Nobody cares. But how can we say we don't care and then we talk about the fact that this person is now deceased because we didn't pay attention to the signs? You know, a lot of people give us warning signs in the jokes that they say, in the withdrawal, you know, where they withdraw. They do a lot of different things, but we're so preoccupied with ourselves that we don't give them the attention that they need. And that's kind of selfish. You know, for me, that's how I feel it, or that's how I see it, as selfish. There's time for me to take time for me. I should be able, if I say I love you, I should be able to give you that same time.
I definitely feel you on that one. You know what I mean? Let me take another quick pause for the cause. Lady Novea, great to see you. You know what I mean? I'm glad you checked in. Good to see you as always. Much love, family. Man. You know, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. At times as a man, yes, I feel that burden of just feeling like, yo, I gotta push on. You know what I mean? Like I gotta push on. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody caring. Ain't nobody trying to figure out why I'm upset or why I'm crying or whatever. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let me push on. You know what I'm saying? And then when you walk around society, they kind of treat you a certain way, or you know what I mean? You know, they kind of react a certain way. Like, you know, me, you know, not only am I a man of color, but you know, I got some size to me. You know what I mean? I'm not a small guy. You know what I mean? I'm you know, got some muscle for the hustle. You know what I mean? And so when people see me, you know, I'm automatically judged. Automatically. Salute to Auntie Debbie. What's going on? You know what I mean? I'm automatically judged. And the topic is yes, Lady Novea. Yes, this happens to me. The topic, Auntie Debbie, is accountability, owning our emotions. Okay, as you see it scrolling down the ticker. You know what I mean? And yeah, so you know, there's that pressure of, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, I got to keep it pushing. You know what I mean? I got to keep it pushing. Who's going to make space for, not just for a man, but for a black man, you know what I mean, who looks a certain way. You know what I mean? They're going to automatically think I'm just strong and that I have no feelings and that, you know, I'm just a Superman and I can just fly through walls. Salute to Intellectual Soapbox Family's own Smitty. What up, man? You know what I mean? Check out Smitty's Corner tomorrow. We're intellectually embracing Smitty's Corner tomorrow. We got some stuff that we about to cook up tomorrow. He has a whole buffet for y'all tomorrow. All right, that he told me about this morning. So I can't wait till we do it. Salute to Marcus. What's going on? You know what I mean? Definitely respect to him. You know what I'm saying? And his mic may be muted or may be on. We don't know. We may find out. He may pull up. But yeah, y'all know the link is pinned in the chat. Y'all know what it's. Yeah, he always does that.
He'll be like,
yeah. Oh, she got him spot on. That's what he do. But yeah, as a man, sometimes I feel that pressure.
Nothing but love to Smitty. I love the way he thinks. I don't agree with it, but I love the way he thinks.
She kept a G on that one. Marcus says any channel can be peaceful depending on how they run their channel, who they let on the panel. That is true. That is true. But that's a topic for another day. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I mean, yes, you know, sister. I think that.
So I actually want to push back on you a little bit.
Okay, go ahead. I'm here.
Because as you were speaking, you said that nobody cares, which is, it should be a falsity because you yourself should care. So if you don't take the time, the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes to love yourself, how are we as a community supposed to love you? You know, and you're right that Black men are not given that space. How do we change that? Well, you guys could demand it, but then you run the risk of women, you know, saying you're weak, that you got all these, you know, you're being feminine, take your skirt off, all this stuff. We emasculate. However, it's a double standard. And I said this on a different live the other day. Women are now asking for all of these freedoms. Accept me as I am. I'm the breadwinner. I'm this. However, I'm going to pick and choose where you get to be the man. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, it's just, we cannot process our emotions. And that is part of it, because now this pride has shifted and the women are now asking for all of this respect, but they're stepping on the men to get it. And that's not the way. There's got to be a blending, but we can't get to a blending until we actually sit back and say, this is my fault. This argument happened because I wasn't listening, you know, or my feelings got hurt and my feelings shouldn't have been involved. But how can we get there?
She said we need to demand it. I mean, yes, we do. We need to demand it. We do need to say, hey, look, this is where we at. I don't care, like, what's going to be said. And of course, we got to love ourselves first. I mean, I first and foremost, you're right about that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Do I think women can be on some BS times? Some of them can be, but I don't look at everyone as a woman. I've told people this before, right? Like, I don't look at every man as a man, right? Some men are just males. They are adult males. They're not men. They haven't earned that title, right? To be a man. Just like a woman has to earn her title to be a woman, right? And I feel like it's the same for both. I don't, you know, if a man is not doing certain things, or, you know, being a man and actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the whole leadership and gender role stuff, but I'm actually saying, you know, being an adult, you know what I'm saying, and actually expressing themselves, being responsible, doing certain things. And I'm not going to look at you as a man. I'm just looking at you as a male. You're just really an adult child to me, right?
I want to ask two questions.
I'm here for it.
One, was he ever shown how to be a man? And two, where do others get the right to hold judgment on somebody else's manhood? Well, I don't know where the balloons came from.
That was fire. Hey, that is fire. StreamYard doing its own thing right now. Okay, they're celebrating you. All right, family.
And two, we really need to be a little bit easier, because we keep setting our expectations by our own self. And when we say, if I can do it, you can do it. Well, pardon me, but who are you? You know, how can you compare or give me any kind of comparison? And I don't even know your first name. You know, I think that we live in this competitive space where everybody has to be competing over something. Or if you're not doing something, you're unmotivated, you hold no value. And that's not true. And that's where men are fighting from right now, because they've been told for decades that this is their responsibility as a provider, a protector, you know, these limited windows of control. And now they're like, you know what? That pay is not worth it anymore, you know, and they have every right to feel that way, because now they feel unappreciated And the women are like, oh, hell no. Where do you get off? The same way we get off. You know, we have the audacity to be upset at men every day. Why wouldn't they have the same right to be upset at us?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, you know, I agree with you. Like, I was telling somebody this the other day. I said, man, like, I think a lot of things that I was taught and I was raised as a child, it kind of, you know, yes, it's good, I guess, for like, I guess the corporate world, right? Or I guess kind of like working or things of that nature, right? I don't know what you're drinking, but it looks slamming. I guess, I don't know if it's a milk tea, whatever that is. Is it a milk tea?
It's coffee.
I don't even know what that is, but oh, you said coffee?
Yeah, it's like, how do you know?
Oh, okay. I didn't say it was something different. My bad. All right. I know what. Okay, we of course know what coffee is, but yeah. What I was saying is ideally this, right? I think that what I've learned, you know what I mean, or what I was taught as a kid, yes, it made me ready to basically be responsible for, like, you know, working a job, you know, having a bank account, blah blah blah, things of that nature, right? You know, having my own phone and kind of being responsible in a sense where I have my own stuff, but everything else, like,
that's not it.
And everything else, yeah, that was off.
That is all of what society has told you a man is, but you guys are 360 individuals just as much as I am. You know, you guys have just as many emotions as I do as a female. You guys are just not either going to access them or have not been able to. And I think that that's the only way we're going to actually reach a true community is if we allow our men the chances to be vulnerable without judgment. I don't mind if my man comes to me and he's having a hard day and he cries. For one, that's super sexy to me. But for two, it never goes past that room. It's not like I'm going to call up my girlfriends and be like, girl, guess what happened? No, I'm not going to do that. That's asinine. You know, and that's something that I have to take with me, even if the relationship ends. That would never be a weapon towards him because that speaks on my character. And I'm not going to go down for anybody. So it's just not worth it to me.
But no, family, you're actually correct. Like, you know, I think that, okay, now that I've gotten a little bit older, I know that, like, I basically am lacking some different type of thing when it comes to being emotionally vulnerable and all that. Of course, I know that. You know what I'm saying? I see that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not hard for me to tell. You know what I mean? But sometimes I wrestle with it. Sometimes I'm like, I like being the way that I am because, you know, if I'm not the way I am, I'm gonna get left behind. Because out here in this world, you gotta be on your stuff. You know what I mean? You cannot be lackluster. You know what I'm saying? Because it's competitive out here, and you gotta go and get it. If you don't go and get it, then people will just leave you behind, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that there's not communities that's fighting to have, you know, say and rights and things of that nature and have people be emotional and all that. I'm not saying that don't exist. I believe it does, right? And I do believe that there are spaces and places, you know, that is creating that. And I believe you're creating that for people, right? Just in your own way, right? And I believe that there's other people that's creating that in their own way, right? And they're letting their voices be heard. And I appreciate that. Truly, I do. As a man, as a human being, I appreciate that. But, you know, it's kind of still like I still got to get out here and get it. Like, so I still kind of somehow still got to tune into my other ways, whether I want to or not. You know what I mean? Whether I want to or not, I just came from an opportunity, right? I came from an opportunity, you know what I mean? And, you know, I went in there, I did what I had to do, you know what I'm saying? And I felt the vibes, and I was like, all right, well, I got to keep grinding. You know what I mean? I couldn't show no emotion right there. Like, I got to stay focused. Now, maybe I should have showed emotion, right? Maybe I should have took a step back, maybe sat there, you know, maybe shed a tear, whatever, right? But I'm like, man, hey, look, tonight, once I'm done doing this whole YouTube stuff, I need to get back on my grind, get back on Indeed, and look for something else. and look for a lot of something else's so I can find something else. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, is it probably wrong that I'm actually this way in a sense? Possibly. Is it probably healthy? Maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I have to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna get left behind, and that's just the facts of it.
But if we don't handle the emotion as a Black man, you're going to internalize that. And it's going to turn into high blood pressure. It's going to turn into diabetes. It's going to turn into all these other ailments because you are feeling that you can't talk to anybody. That's not healthy. You know, you guys carry this John Henry mentality that, you know, we're going to just get through the mountain. Why? You know, it's no longer as important as it used to be. You are more important than your finances, than your home, your car. I know a lot of women don't talk like that, but respectfully, F those women. There's a large group of us that are not looking at that. We don't want a man for what he brings to the table. Can we build the table together? Matter of fact, can we change and just not eat at the table? You know, we can eat in other ways. How can we become a true unit if I'm always measuring you by somebody else's standard?
I need to get
Yeah, okay, I know that. Listen, okay, and that's part of why I have a lot of the challenges I have now. You know what I'm saying, with my organ deficiency. So I know it came from me doing different things, and I'm trying to approach it differently. But it's just hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Like I'm not going as hard as I used to be. Like I know how to calm down and you know take a load off. But yeah, it's still, I still got to kind of have a focus in a sense, right? You know what I mean? And kind of do what I have to do. You know what I mean? And make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So
you want to hear the craziest thing?
I'm listening.
You can do both at the same time. I know, crazy. I know. Just give me a little bit of space. It's very possible that you can both be driven while still taking time for yourself. As I stated, it's as minimal as 5 minutes a day. It's as simple as making a cup of coffee, allowing your brain to wander while you make your cup of coffee. Or if you use the restroom longer than normal, you know, who's going to judge you? You know, you can't tell my body what to do. You know, you have to learn to put yourself first. And unfortunately, you guys have never been given permission to do so. Why? How do I as a woman get more rights than you? Yet I am part of the gender that's been fighting for their rights since the 1920s. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like the whole world is just topsy-turvy. You know, there is no race for us all to get to the finish line. It's like we are just elbowing each other, trying to get ahead in a what was that movie called?
Blade Runner?
No, the game one where they would kill each other in the game.
Hunger Games.
Not Hunger Games. It more recent. The one where they're like a group of people and they do the seek, the peekaboo thing, and they have to run towards it.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I forget what it's called.
It was really big for a little bit, and then it went away. However, but that's what we're doing now. We are literally trying to see who's going to make it to the end of this round, because for some reason we think there's some kind of prize, and there isn't.
Like they're dangling the carrot in front of us. Okay.
Right. We have turned our own world into a Truman Show. We're on Instagram all the time. We are always trying to one-up people. Why? Why does it matter? We're all struggling. Why do we have airs in front of people? If I come to you as a friend and I say, hey, you know, things are really tight for me right now. Can you just pray for me? What's wrong with that? It's not always people wanting money. You know, if I share my financial money, you, that doesn't mean I'm asking you for money. I'm just talking to you as a friend. However, people will be held account. Like this is the emotion piece. This is how I'm saying we have to own our emotions. So let's say I come to you and I'm talking to you about my financial situation and you feel bad for me. And so you say, oh, I really wish I could help, but there's nothing I could do right now. I didn't ask you. However, you have now taken your guilt and made it mine. Why? Why can't you just be my friend and hear me?
Wow, that is true. That is true. Okay. I do wish we would stop this stupid, competitive, capitalistic, dog eat dog type of lifestyle. I wish it could stop. I wish it wouldn't. And maybe we do need to fight the system. Maybe we need to do, be more proactive. Not a maybe, but we should be more proactive.
And I don't think
it's hard to do that.
I don't think it's that there's people don't want to help each other. I think that we can't trust the people we're choosing to help because so many people are taking advantage of people's generosity, and there's always somebody with their hand out, and you find out that they're living this super lavish lifestyle, and the person who really needed help can't get it because now everybody's conditioned to think that it's a lie. There's something wrong with the way we are handling things. Why do we pick and choose who we help? Because we have to now. It's not the same as it was in the 90s or early 2000s. We can't trust anybody anymore. And that's our fault because we stopped talking to each other. I don't even know who my neighbors are, and I've lived here since 2005.
Yeah, I don't really know my neighbors like that either, like for real.
But when I was a kid, we were always in the streets. Everybody knew each other. If I went into the neighbor's house, my parents didn't care as long as I was home before the street lights came on.
Come on, sister. Yep, same thing with me too.
We can't even let our kids play outside till the street lights come on anymore. They have to be in well before the sun even begins to set because we can't trust anybody.
Cause I'm sorry.
Then my brother came up. Grizz, what's going on? Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you. Grizz, what's your what's your expertise on this, man? What you got to add to this, brother?
So I've been telling my wife this. I've been telling me and my friends talk about this consistently. It's like we're in a new era. It's this day and age is different because, like for instance, like I said before, I'm reiterating, I'm a father, and I would love my son to go outside by himself, but people don't these kids. I've been seeing kids outside playing in the streets, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. Okay, just keep playing in the streets, but at the same time, we used to be, even though we play in the streets, there's always that one elder out looking outside. Hey, what y'all kids doing? Nowadays, it's like not really too many people pay attention nowadays. And I'm afraid of my son getting lost somewhere or getting hit by a car because these cars coming in and out of here fast and don't even pay attention to these kids and whatnot. But yeah, we're definitely in a different era. I feel like we're the last ever generation to be playing outside. Like the sister said, go outside till the street lights come on. Hey, where you been at? I was up the street. You know what time it is? I miss those days. I miss where we used to look out for one another. You know what I'm saying? We used to look out for one another. We used to tell everybody what's going on. Like me and my wife, we just moved to a new place, and I don't really know nobody over here. Even our neighbors who are above us, like I know who they are, but I don't really know their names and stuff like that. But yeah, like the sister said, like we're different in a brand new era. It's completely different.
I'll be honest. I've had several conversations with Mr. Best in the World right here. I don't know his name. I've had several conversations with many different people. And we've pursued each other in a business manner. I don't know their names. You know, we no longer have to require that information until we get to a contract, which is kind of
Right.
scary.
Yeah.
It is actually really scary because my name isn't Goddess. However, it now legally is because I've gone by it for such a long time.
Right. I definitely understand what you're saying because I remember like my biological name is not Grace. I go by that. I go by that contract name because since 2004, 2005, me and the brothers we used to. I used to experiment with trying to get into the film. I mean, into the rap industry. I want. And in the beginning, I was thinking about trying to become a rapper, and my name, everybody used to call me Big Black Grizzly Bear, so I went by Grizzly Bear for a long period of time, and then I turned it into a production company name. So all my friends, you know, even Mr. Best, he calls me by my fictitious name, which I mean, I think it's kind of it's cool, you know, turning your nickname into almost your biological name. But you know, even nowadays, I'll meet people in the streets, they'll give me their fictitious. They won't really give me their. There's some people who want to give me their biological name. They'll call me. They'll say, "Oh yeah," they call me Mister, Mister Tech or something. Just throwing the name out there. But I'm like, you know, I won't know their name until I hear somebody call them by their biological name. But if someone else asks me what my name is, I'll gladly give them my biological name. I'm not ashamed of that. I still kind of live by the old school rules.
I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, I think you know we do have these certain monikers and things that we go by, but even though we do go by that, we still are a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still a human being. Of course, you know, in this space, yeah, I would love for everybody to know me on a personal level. That would actually be, you know, refreshing. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that, you know, it's a time and place for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know,
I'm gonna tell you, being a social online person, right? I'm Goddess all the time. And I had a conversation the other day and he said my government name and I was like, ooh, you know, I got a little excited because I don't get to hear it often anymore.
Right.
You know, and that's a sad thing that we have to live with when we become, you know, online type personalities. However, it does again fall back to the topic. How do we handle that? How do we handle those emotions? Because sometimes we get lost in our personalities, our online personas. Where's the chance to take off our own persona and just be who we are by our government name?
Right. Me personally, it's a time and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? Because we met before online, so like for me, I'm getting into the film industry. So if someone wants to ask me, like, let's say that I am at a business meeting, let's say I'm at a film mixer in a business meeting in Oakland or LA, what have you. And someone asks me what my real name is, I'll tell people my real name. You know, it's a time and place for it. Like if you're in a business meeting, you should always tell people your government name. Or so sometimes because I think of everything as a business opportunity for me. So if, like, let's say that me, you, Mr. Best, and everybody was at a business meeting, I will gladly tell you what my government name is, because I never know if Miss Goddess is a producer of some sort of a TV show, or if she has weight in some type of industry that she can help me to get me in, you know? So I would say this is always a time and a place to give someone your government name, because you never know who that person might know. So I always so I would tell people my nickname is. If you want to call me by my nickname, you're more than welcome to. But I'm gonna give you my I'm gonna give you my biological name, and if you hear someone call me by my fictitious name, I will, I'll tell you, yes, people call me Grizz or Grizzly Bear because of our production company.
So
But
I want to challenge you
yes, ma'am.
because you didn't answer my question.
I'm sorry.
How do we separate ourselves from our online personalities to ensure that we give ourselves the space to process the emotions that come from being an online person, whether it be for your acting or for Mr. Best's, podcast? When do we take off those masks? Because I'm going to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
I started my podcast the beginning of this year, and I did. It's been a hot mess, but I wouldn't have changed a single thing. I had to learn who Goddess is, and then I had to learn who Talitha is, because those are two different people. I'm not one that's going to be scared to share my name because I have nothing to hide. And I think that when we present ourselves as somebody like, oh my gosh, please don't go find out my information, it makes people curious. Just ask me, I'll tell you. We need to be able to not be afraid of our past. Yes, our past is part of who we are. And up until recently, I was like, my past can't hurt me, which is true because I lived it, However, anybody that comes into my life, they could be hurt by that past. So am I going to be able to sit there if that person is upset by some kind of information and accept it without getting defensive? Because by all rights, I should not be able to be judged by that. However, if it's new information, there's going to be questions. There could be some hurt feelings. Are you able to sit and have an accountability conversation without getting upset?
Right. So to answer the last part of the question, yes, I can. I've had those many, many times. And to answer the other question, the first question, the question in the beginning, we have to be comfortable with ourselves. It all goes back to us, to you as a person. Are you able and willing to give someone your biological name? Are you comfortable telling people who you really are? Just like in Black, not Black Panther, but just I've had many conversations. Now you have to be comfortable with who are you? What are you? Where do you come from? Basically, it just goes back to you. Who are you? Are you comfortable with yourself? And I would just say that, if that answers the question.
I would say for myself, I didn't even know Bolo TV even checked in. Oh, okay, he didn't check in. Okay, I seen his name. Marcus just referenced him. Okay, I would say for myself that I try to keep, best in the world and who I really am separate, and because this to me is more of a hobby, and it's more of a character that I feel like I'm on a film set. Like it's a film set, I'm in a movie, and I'm kind of acting. But in my acting, I'm giving y'all real life situations in a sense, right? Theoretically, as much as I feel comfortable doing. And that's just kind of how I sit with it. But I know how to separate this from who I am. You know what I mean? They're two different entities completely. You know what I mean? And I like it that way. You know what I'm saying? I thought about maybe like, okay, one day possibly, you know what I mean? I will possibly just, be completely out there. But no, I kind of like having the whole, what's the name of this group where they never show themselves, but they make some great music? Daft Punk. I like kind of having a Daft Punk type of moniker where it's like, damn, man, he makes some good stuff. But who is he? You know what I mean? Like, and like, but you love the music so much, you're like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, You know, because Daft Punk is dope, but I don't know what the brothers look like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or even if it's a brother, I don't even know if it's a woman or a man. I just know they make some great music. You know what I mean? They make some great content. So, you know what I mean? And that's kind of an inspiration of why I did what I did. Kind of, it's many inspirations. You know, Bolo TV is one of them because he don't show his face either. But, you know what I mean? That's not his real name either, Bolo. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's a lot of inspiration that I got from it and why I present it the way I do. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
That's all right.
I get it. I really, really do. I do. I just gotta push back. I gotta push back because you have to be able to give yourself space to process everything.
True.
And I have yet to hear you give yourself that grace. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And it's that John Henry mentality. Why? Put your hammer down just for a moment. Just for a moment.
Right.
The railroad will still be built. You have to be strong enough, though, to build it. And even in this conversation, you can tell that you don't give yourself that time. And that's a problem because you're going to end up bitter. And any woman that comes into your space, and this is generalized speaking, and I don't mean to overstep. However, and that comes into your space, you're going to hold her accountable for something she had nothing to do with.
Okay.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, I feel like I do give myself enough space. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I feel like I do. And that's why I kind of know how to separate, you know, the two, how to go from being best to being, you know, who I actually am. And, you know, there was a long time I took a long break. I took a break. It was the longest break I ever took from social media. It was super long. It was from like May till October. And a part of that was because I was working too. So that actually took a lot of my time, me just working and getting back in my career field. But even with that, like, it was, you know what I mean? It's times where I do, you know, check out and I do be like, all right, let me go do this, or let me go do that, or let me go relax, or let me go take a bath, or whatever I'm doing, right? You know what I'm saying? So these are things that I do to kind of escape it. But I would say my the first year of me really doing the best in the world thing, like that first year and a half, yeah, it was lightweight consuming. It was. The second year, you know what I mean, I kind of started to find more of a balance, and now by this third year, I'm like, I'm cool with it. Like I kind of know, you know what I mean? I know, like, just, you know, when I'm kind of doing too much and when I'm kind of doing too little. So, and then kind of having that time just to kind of, you know, do personal stuff, as well as, you know what I mean, be on here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one person was telling me, he was like, man, you should stream every day. I'm like, I'm not streaming every day. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, no, I need time for me. You know what I mean? And I appreciated what he was telling me, because he was trying to tell me, like, to really get it in on that type of level. But nah, I'm streaming for the time I want to stream, for the hours I want to stream, and then I'm going to keep it pushing. So, but yeah, and, you know, that's me, and that's kind of how I handle it, you know? Like I said, do I need to be more emotionally vulnerable and even accountable for, like, personal things that I do? Of course, yeah. I'm not denying that at all. Not at all.
Okay, so I am a self-proclaimed compassion warrior. I really feel that a lot of people forgot what compassion can feel like. It's not always good. You know, sometimes compassion can kick you in the hind end, you know?
Yes.
It's just a softer accountability. And I am looking to build my caseload. I actually have been talking to a few people and I've seen benefit. And it's just basically, it's like hiring a friend, you know, and it's somebody that you could just spill all of your crazy thoughts into and they don't go anywhere. And by one person that I've actually spent quite a bit of time talking with, they're getting ready to start their own business, something they hadn't even considered before. And it was just allowing them the space to get those ugly thoughts out of their head. What do you guys do as a way of getting those ugly thoughts out of your head? Because that's when they start to take power over you and you start to lose sight on your value. Where do you guys go for that kind of outlet?
I think that's also a missing component too at times, right?
Yeah.
Of having people that are, consistently there, and don't make excuses and don't, and there are people that I have that are consistently there, you know what I'm saying? And that are consistently, available. At times though, at times I think for me also at times I have to lean more and gravitate more towards those people. I think sometimes I'm so used to trying to serve or trying to give or trying to, get this to happen and get that to happen. I forget about the people that's really actually there, that actually really care, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes in the midst of it, I'm so focused on trying to get someone to care, right? That doesn't really care or kind of in their own little realm or whatever the hell they're in, you know what I mean? That I sometimes lose sight of those people who really, you know what I mean, are really, 10 toes down. So, and that's on me. Grizz, go ahead. You could because I know you came off mute. So go ahead, bro.
It's all good, bro. I'm over here marinating actually. For me, if I need to take a time out or trying to get something with whatnot, trying to get something out of my head, because I'm always in my head and I'm always contemplating a lot of things. Sometimes I'll put some lofi music, sometimes I'll put some lofi music on and just meditate half the day. Or I'll call my brothers and be like, hey, I'm going through this. I got this on my mind. Depending on what it is, like if it's career-wise, I'm calling my brothers. If it's relationship-wise, I'm calling the people who are married. I'm calling my brothers who are married and stuff like that. And or every once in a while, sometimes every once in a while, I might go get a cigar and just sit outside and just smoke for like a few minutes and then contemplate and just let my mind wander. It depends on because I know Mr. Best. I can actually literally talk. He's definitely one of my brothers because I've called him with some issues that I've been having, and he's having to work those out. And then M3, I'll call him for some relationship and with M3 and Mr. Best, like they will literally tell you, okay, this and this and this and this and this, and they will literally like give you something to contemplate on. And that's and that's how person I am. Like I don't want nothing sugar coated. If I want to tell you something, if you're gonna tear me apart and let me marinate on what I just did right, what I did wrong, whatnot. But yeah, it's a multiple different things that I do to. It's multiple different things that I do to get my mind off of things.
But you see, I'm glad that you presented so many different avenues in which you speak to somebody. So you have your brothers, you have this. Do you see where the problem is though? There is nobody in that circuit where you can talk 100% without judgment. You have to be selective over what information you share.
Yeah.
That creates hardship for you guys as men. You should be able, especially with you being married, right? So we'll just use that as an example. You should be able to go to your wife and be like, you know what? I'm just not feeling 100% today. I don't know what's wrong. You know, I'm just not feeling very masculine. I'm just going to say that, right? It should be me to be like, okay, babe, what's wrong? What's going on? And just kind of support you in that moment without being like, nigga, what? What? Get your bitch ass up off the. That is wrong.
Oh shit.
However, that's the attitude that you guys are being given. And that's not going to make you want to open up to us. But then we hold you accountable for not being vulnerable to us. It's just this paradox of double standard, and it's wrong. You should be able to go to one spot and say, you know what? I'm feeling like I just don't want to be here anymore. And it not be, oh my God, let me call somebody. 5150. No. If somebody is coming to you and saying, hey, I'm thinking of unaliving myself, maybe you should say, okay, what's wrong? Maybe not even say what's wrong. Don't do that. Sometimes that's not a good choice of words. However, just being there in that space, kind of like their security blanket, you know, I don't need to know the details. I just need you to know that I'm sitting right here with you and we're going to get through this together. You know, I don't need to give you advice because your life is your life. I can broaden your perspectives. However, I can't tell you. I can just support you and I can let you know that you're valuable and this is only a season or a moment. It's not a defining characteristic of who you are as a man. I should be able to give that to people as a woman, especially if those people are the ones, the man that I've chosen to spend my life with. That should just be an automatic. Being in a relationship is about being selfish as well as selfless and knowing when to change those two things.
Okay. You gave me a lot to think about, actually. You actually gave me a lot to think about, actually. Thank you for that.
I mean, get your bitch ass up. Hey. Oh, man. Hey, listen. Look, I'm about to chill myself. You talking about chilling? I'm about to chill. I just ordered me some Corbel champagne. Know what I mean? So yeah.
But I mean, I do go to my wife. We're still working on our relationship aspect and how we talk, because I was telling telling one of my friends who's actually getting into a long-term relationship, things will change, and with those changes with your significant other, because I'm telling them the pros and the cons. I mean, everything that me and my wife. I'm telling them everything that me and my wife go through, and you're gonna have to be willing to like learn how to change through the seasons. I'm not seasons. You're gonna be willing to change as you guys grow with each other, because you might like 5-10 years from now, your point of view you guys' point of view may be unaligned, and so that's when you have to come back to the table and like, okay, what just happened? Where are we going? And that's what me and my wife are right now, is basically where we are relearning each other again. Because
while you're relearning each other, you also need to relearn yourself, because you're not the same man you were 10 years ago.
True.
And in all honesty, that is the problem, is a lot of people are held in a certain time period and people don't let you guys move past that. You know, you were great when you were this age. What happened to you? Excuse me? First off,
I get that.
You know, first off, respectfully, F you. And second, where do you get off having any kind of authority over where I am in my timeline? We have gotten too comfortable telling others where they should and should not be. That is none of our business. And we are placing unnecessary pressures, especially on men, even women, because they need to make us comfortable. I don't subscribe to that anymore.
Right. Because the person who I am right now, because like my wife asked me about, she asked me about like where we're going, like what happened between now and high school, and I'm like, I evolved. I'm going through a change. She kind of feels like I'm kind of backsliding, but I'm consistently telling her like, hey, um, I'm actually going through so in my terminology, I'm going through a reboot. I'm going through changes of relearning how to speak, and so I suffer from depression too. So I listen to a lot of speeches, and one thing that really got to me was no matter what circumstances you're in, do not change your demeanor. And I'm like, do not change your demeanor. When somebody speaks, be quiet, listen, understand what's going on. Do not be so quick to speak. Articulate articulate what's going on, and then slowly speak your mind, and make sure it's on task. So I'm actually relearning that and applying it to my relationship as well.
That sounds like a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
No, I mean,
It's just here.
uh-huh.
I want you to give yourself a little bit of grace, because we focus so much on the words, because we always want to articulate ourselves to be less impactful as far as emotions. And that will put a limit on you, because you're always worried about how it's going to be received. So if you speak your mind and it doesn't land right, then you the additional information. But you never want to limit yourself, because then you're always working to protect others and never your own. And there's got to be space for both. And and the only reason I'm pushing back on you is because you're conditioned to protect the woman and not yourself. And I want to change that, because you are just as valuable as she is. If we're going to use an analogy, you are the drop-down mask in the plane. She's the one who has to be the person to put it on. And so there's got to be some kind of mutual exchange. Otherwise, it's never going to work. And if you don't give yourself that too, then you're only there to serve her. And that ain't it.
Okay.
I'm not saying you don't want to serve her. Let's be cautious.
Right. No, you're good. Yes, ma'am.
You just want
not
that you do for yourself as well.
And also too, it's this age-old saying that I used to agree with, but it's a saying that I don't agree with anymore. It's what is it? It's happy wife, happy life. I do not agree with that anymore, because a lot of things and for me, it's what if the man is mentally not okay? What if in the position of, okay, I want to serve my wife, but how can I serve her when I'm not okay? How can I help out in the household when I'm not mentally there and emotionally there? And go ahead.
It's happy us or get on the bus, because I can't do that. No, don't make it about me, because for one, that's too much pressure on me as a woman. I'm already juggling so many things, being a mom, trying to figure out the bills, trying to figure out everything. Don't make our happiness contingent on my happiness, because that's bullshit. That's unfair. I don't want that responsibility.
You know what? Hold on. Right there. Sorry. I'm glad someone agrees with me, because I've tried to even people around my age. They're like, who are married. Some people who are married, they're like happy wife, happy life. I'm like, bro, I don't I don't consider that. I feel like it's a we thing. It's not just a you thing, not just a me thing. It's you're in it together. I actually told my other god brother, basically, you are supposed to come together like what did Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin said, "Come together like two butt cheeks and become the shit." And I was like, true, but yeah, like I love when couples have a common goal in life, have a common goal as career wise. You know, okay, I got this half, you got this half. Okay, let's attack and meet in the middle. Let's go. I'm still we are reworking on that, and come to find out, it's like I'm on one path, she's on another path, and we're still trying to figure out, okay, how can we make two paths come together and stuff like that. And even though our point of views as far as raising our child is somewhat together, and she's actually taught me how to mellow my tone, which I'm grateful for. You know, she taught, because my wife is a teacher, so she has certain aspects that I don't have because I'm not a teacher. Well, I'm a teacher because I'm a parent, but I don't have a degree as far as being a teacher goes. And they learn different things of how to talk to children, which actually helps. It helps out in our household. And she brings us to the house. I'm like, I'm gonna use that. That's dope. So we've actually come together on that, but it's a lot of things that me and my wife are working on.
If you think about it, in the just the most simplest basic principle of a relationship, I as a woman am supposed to come in and teach the man how to be softer, and the man comes in and teaches me how to be stronger.
Right. Yeah.
That mutual exchange of energy. Yes. There are different things that we can assign gender assignments to, because as I've stated in many lives, and I will take it to my grave, I do not do any kind of manual labor. I'm way too cute. And that's just how it's going to be. However, I don't feel that if I make more money than him, that I have more power than he does. I truly do believe that the man that I choose to come in is the man of the house, and I want him to lead me, which means I have to listen, even when I don't want to. And I think that's something that can be shown to others, because we can't just talk about it anymore. People are not interested in our words because we are all a bunch of liars. So we need to implement it, and we need to show it. And that's kind of what I want to do as a compassion warrior. That's
dope.
Where my mouth is. Respectfully, of course.
Right.
I would say, family, that I think a lot of times men implement that happy wife, happy life thing because they be afraid, man. They be scared. You know what I'm saying? Like they be shook. They be shook, daddy, as my brother be saying. You know what I mean? Like they be shook. And
right.
Women are gonna leave them, or if they get a certain age, they know they can't really find somebody else, right? So they gotta just put up whatever bullshit you gonna give them. You know what I mean? Because they know, like, yo, I'm old. Maybe the brother, can't go in the bedroom like that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he just, you know what I mean? He's just limited. No, I'm being real. This is some real shit I'm saying.
So, right.
I mean, it sounds funny, but some real shit. You're like a neuter dog in a sense, like
no.
Like, he can't really do much, and like he just there just cosmetically. You know what I mean? He may be able to do some shit around the house, whatever, but that's about it. So the thing is that, like, at the end of the day, like, I think a lot of times brothers is just scared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
What up? That's the best. I mean, M3, what up? He said, ain't no such
thing as
now, so I don't know about that, M3. No, I'm joking with you. I'm messing with you. M3, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, bro. But with that being said, yeah, man, at the end of the day, like, we all know that a lot of these men are just scared, man. They scared because the thing is that, like, they have so low self-esteem, right? They don't think that they can find somebody else, right? They don't think that they're gonna get out there, and they probably are really scared too because of social media, right? They see these women out here. All these women have these high. Some of these women, right? I'm not speaking to the overall women out here who actually are working hard, who actually, you know what I mean, who want to build a legacy with a man, who actually cares about a man, his feelings and things of nature. So the women out there that's like that, I'm not talking to y'all. But y'all voices sometimes are not loud enough. You know what I mean? What we see them sexy reds, them Cardi B's, them out there that's twerking and stuff, and we see the city girls out there, and that's what we see because their voice is the loudest. You know what I'm saying? So we thinking in our mind a lot of times, men is like, damn, I don't want to get back out there because I ain't trying to deal with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we thinking. Salute to Sister Dee Dee Taylor. I'm glad that you pulled up. Salute to you. You know what I mean? Salute to the family. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, with that being said, like, men a lot of times are afraid. So we just put up with what we want to put up with. And then plus a lot of times, if you raise as a man, like me, like I don't complain about my relationship no matter how it goes, right? It can be going good or bad. I'm not going to complain. Either we're going to work it out or we're going to move on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna complain. So, a lot of guys are scared and a lot of guys are afraid to have a voice or even say something. You know what I mean? Because they're judged or whatever. And a lot of times, too, as a man, if you leave a relationship, you automatically look at this as the bad guy. You automatically the bad guy. No matter what happens, right? No matter what has happened, you automatically are the bad guy. Like, she could have killed the cat, the dog, everybody. And she could have came at your mama. None of that would have mattered. You still the bad guy. And a lot of men feel that way. So, yeah.
Not if you learn how to speak our language. And see, that's where a compassion warrior can come in. I'm going to keep doing these selfish plugs. So sorry.
Right. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You're good. You're all good. Don't be sorry. I'm like this. This lady.
You know what I mean? We here for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that you're on this path. Keep doing it. Don't let nobody tell you what you cannot do. I'm playing this. If that makes you feel happy, if that's what you really love and want to do it. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and cannot do. I'm proud of you for doing that. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that. And so what I was going to say, so let's just say, Mr. Best, that you've had a really stressful day, right? And your husband is upset at you at something, but you have an appointment with me that night, right? So we schedule and we're talking prior to you speaking to your girl, and you unload on me, right? You give me everything that you want to tell her and no holds barred. All kinds of curse words, hoes, whatever you want to say. It's all given to me. And then I'm like, okay. And then I present you a different perspective, just a different way to look at it. And then by the time you go have that conversation with her, you're not as angry as you were. And it gives you the opportunity to have a better conversation, which could create something that's going to throw her off balance because she's expecting you to fight her. However, if you are no longer in that space to feel you have to defend yourself, it could deflate that argument and give you an opportunity to grow together instead of apart.
Okay, you absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that. And you know what I'm saying? You absolutely are making complete sense with that. Like, you know what I mean? It allows me to have the tools before I get into my other man mode, right? Into that barbaric, you know what I mean? I guess domineering or caveman-like type of terminology. You know what I mean? It'll be better for me to approach it that way. So I agree with you. You know what I mean? Our brother M3 has a question in the chat. So it's a question for you, sister. He says, what does it mean to speak a woman's language when most of us were never taught? Okay, I'm gonna leave that up there too.
Basically, it means that one of the things, and granted, I'm speaking from my perspective. I don't want to take on the whole female population. However, we want to be seen and we want to be heard. And so if we come to you or you've been presented with all this additional information and you go to her and you recognize and take accountability, you're going to deflate it. In theory, most women aren't going to receive this right away because they're not used to it. And give her acknowledgement instead of a defense. If you look at a lot of the fights that have happened, it's because a lot of men take what we're saying as nagging. instead of actually listening. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I'm not spending enough time with you. So I'm going to talk about your PlayStation. I'm going to talk about all these other things. It's not so much the words we use, it's what we may not feel comfortable saying. And we need to get to a space where instead of hinting, I just come straight forward to you and I say, you know what, sweetie? I'm not feeling desirable right now. I don't feel like I have your attention. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there something that you may not be, comfortable with talking to me about? I need to not be in a space to take that personal. However, as a man, you have to recognize that my emotions are going to drive my conversation. And sometimes you are a point of attack, but it's not you we're mad at. You're a safe space for us to release that frustration into. Women don't know how to communicate that either. And so if you learn to navigate around our storms, it could greatly impact how fruitful the relationship is, because it all comes down to being seen. A woman wants to be seen just as much as she wants to be heard. To know that even as the man leading, should something happen, you trust her to step into your shoes and lead just as well as you did. And men aren't comfortable doing that because it emasculates them.
That's a gem right there. But hold on, sister. Hold on. Before I even say anything, let me give a shout out to my man Big Rick Slash. Big Rick, what's going on? Glad you pulled up in the building. What up? Okay, sister, I'm gonna say it like this. Look, what you just said there, I ain't never heard no woman speak that softly to a man ever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard that from my grandparents, to my own mama. You know what I mean? To my female cousins, to everything else. You know what I mean? I ain't never hear that from any woman. Maybe my sisters sometimes can be that way, but whatever. But I ain't never heard a woman speak like that. You know what I mean? Even from my own experience, I ain't never see that. So, maybe you're just different than the other ones, because, like I said, I ain't never hear no woman like, hey, honey, it's like, whoa, wait, hold on, like why you don't want me? You know what I'm saying? Why am I not desirable enough? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we get. You talking to somebody else, it's like, damn, like, well, shit, maybe I should. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, goddamn, you gonna yell at me, argue with me, like, damn, maybe I should go seek solace somewhere else. But like, at the end of the day, like, a lot of times that's what I've heard from women. I ain't never heard no woman speak that soft and give that delivery like you just gave. I ain't never heard that before.
Right.
That's dope, though. That's dope.
However, even in those comments, who are you seeing? We've been conditioned to see you guys that way. Everything we see on TV says that if the man is not available to us 24 hours a day, he's cheating on us. We have created this codependent world in which a man can't have any time away from us, because if he does, he's sleeping with somebody. It's ridiculous. We've shackled each other to each other, and we're screaming, I want my freedom. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I've actually had that with my wife. There's been times when I'm hardly ever at the house, and she's like, "Are you cheating on me?" I'm like, "No, I have a photo shoot today. No, I have a film shoot today. Where you guys going?" I'm going to. I'm like, there's been times when I had to go to the Bay Area for like 2 or 3 days because of a film shoot, and she called me like, "Who's over there?" It's just me and Pharaoh, where we are chilling.
So here's where you would benefit from a compassion warrior. She's not questioning you because she doesn't trust you. She just wants to be included in your day, and she feels left out. So if you were to preemptively be like, hey babe, here's my itinerary for the day. I might be unavailable during these times, but as soon as I'm done, I'll reach out to you. You're not putting in the effort to help build back her trust. You're taking it as an attack every time she says that she doesn't trust you. And it's not that. She needs reassurance to know that you still love her. She just doesn't know how to ask for that because she doesn't know if she can. See, we need to change the way we're listening to the words we are hearing as a couple, because we are conditioned to believe it as an attack. However, sometimes it's a cry for help. Hey, I don't feel loved and I don't know how to tell you, so I'm going to attack you, because that's the only thing we've been taught is anger.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, hold on, Grizz. Hold on, Grizz. Like, here's the thing. Hold on. This man, hold on. And look, I'm not trying to, you know, be an advocate for my brother, but maybe right now I am. I don't know, right? This
Go
man,
ahead, bro.
right? You know what I mean? He been with this woman forever, since grade school, and she still questioning him. Like, nah, man, look, man, these women got to stop doing that, man.
No,
Like,
absolutely not. No, absolutely not. She does not have to do that, because that means that at some time in that relationship, he lost her trust. That's on him. That is on him. And so he needs to take accountability for that. Somehow he let her down, and now she doesn't trust the love. Not that she stopped loving. And so now she's needing reassurance. That's on him. That falls under being a protector. He's not protecting her. So no, she doesn't have to. The same way that she would have to ensure that she's providing him that same energy as far as nurturing goes. So it's a mutual acceptance of ownership. So no, it doesn't matter if she's been there for 40 years. If he is communicating in that way, one, she still loves you. Two, she needs reassurance. And he needs to learn to speak it in her language, not the way he's always perceived the way he received it. Men have to take accountability just as much as women. We have to be able to love the person the way they need to be loved, not the way we want to love them.
Well, let me. Can I say this though, right? All right, and I'm not saying this relationship was perfect, because it wasn't perfect, right? When I look at like my grandparents, right? Look at my grandfather, right? He didn't really say much. You know what I'm saying? He worked hard. He worked for 30 some odd years at the railroad. You know what I'm saying? He retired. The honors and all. They gave him a big ass plaque and all that at the party. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful party, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know, he enjoyed his retirement until, you know, he transcended. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you gotta meet yourself, Grizz. You know what I mean? The thing is that I got you, Grizz. Don't worry about it. Just come off the mic. You know what I mean? Because I was hearing like your background, like it's all good. But with that being said, like he works hard or whatever, and it's like, yo, like why is it that like he like, you know what I mean? And like my grandmother didn't really like, she ain't really, they got their little spats here and there, but she ain't really like stress them out. Like, this is my thing. Like I feel like with women, man, like sometimes like, look, man, if y'all want us to work hard, y'all want us to pay all the bills, y'all want us to do all this other shit, like at the end of the day, like, yo, it's gonna come with some sacrifice, like. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just gonna be things that you may not like. Sometimes it's gonna be other things, other people, other vices, or whatever else that we may indulge in, just to kind of cope so that we can make a way for you to live the life that you want to live. Right? You don't want to go to work, don't you? You want to stay at home, don't you? You want to be with the kids, don't you? Well, listen, this is what comes with it. If I got to do all that, then look. Yes, there may be a day I drink too much. There may be a day I carouse too much. There may be a day I flirt too much. Shit, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. So like at times, yes, you know what I mean? The stresses of this world is going to get to me. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to do whatever I can to provide for you and build a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think sometimes women don't see that. They just, like, if you have a mess up or you have a hiccup or there's some hoes involved, like they automatically get mad. It's like shit. Like, but you're like, yo, I have been working this career mad long, and you don't have to ask for shit. Like literally, you don't have to ask for nothing, and that's not enough. Then it's like, man, what the fuck? Then shit, I might as well just do the shit by myself then, and just be by myself. So I think a lot of men feel that way. Like if we got to go up every day, get up every day, and toil and work hard. You know what I'm saying? Or try to work hard, or try to provide something better. No matter how we feel, no matter if we got illnesses or not, no matter if our parents is here or not here, whether we got support, no matter if listen to our feelings or whatever, you know what I mean? Like no matter if that's happening or not, we still got to get it rocking and rolling. And if a woman wants us to do that, right? Like you said, you don't do manual labor, right? All right, cool. If you don't want to do the manual labor, you want to sit there and look pretty and do that, that's cool. But understand, this all comes with a cost. Everything costs something. So if you don't want to do the manual labor, I got to do all the manual labor. I got to get out and work and all that. So guess what? At times, yes, I'm going to be a jackass. I'm going to be an asshole because at times I'm just stressed. Now, maybe I should talk to you more. Maybe I should be that way, but I'm just a human being. So sometimes I'm just going to fuck up. And I'm sorry that I fuck up. But, yo, I'm trying my best here. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And all I want to say is that don't matter. Shout out to Heavy. It doesn't matter because nowhere in there did you even try to communicate any of her feelings. It's all about you. Do you see how when we speak from a selfish place? You said the woman needs to accept the fact that you are providing and she's wanting to stay at home. That's just as hard to be at home as it is you being at work. And yet there was no space or grace for her. It was all about you. However, if she were to take on that type of behavior or belief, do you see where that can be a combustible situation? Yes, you are going out, you're the manual labor, because again, cute, and the provider. Well, then I'm the home provider, right? I'm taking care of that. When you come home, you take off your armor. So then I step into a private space, and so there has to be communication. Yes, you can be frustrated because you're overwhelmed. However, you don't get to take that out on me. I don't care how stressful your life is. If you can't effectively communicate to me and appropriately communicate to me, then that's on you. And then that's going to create the conflict. We have to be able to speak and talk together. Otherwise, you're making it all about you. And I don't think so. It's just not going to happen.
But hold on, sis, right? Look. I'm sorry, right? My grandmother was not coming in with calluses on her feet. You know what I'm saying? Hurting, sweating. This is what I've seen as a kid, right? She wasn't dealing with all that. I'm not saying she didn't have something she was dealing with, because I'm pretty sure she did, right? But she wasn't dealing with what he was dealing with. Like, she just wasn't. Like, this man be going for days just trying to make sure we all taken care of. And not just for, you know what I mean, his wife and just his immediate kids, but me as a grandchild. Like, he was providing for four of the 5 other people, including himself. You know what I mean? She wasn't dealing with what he was dealing with, like, on no scale. Like, and I'm not saying she didn't have to deal with stuff on the regular, because she did. But nah, it ain't the same. Like, I can't say it was the same, because it wasn't.
Sir, respectfully, that don't matter. And I'm saying it doesn't matter because how can you judge me 2023 by something that happened in 1960? That's unfair. The times were completely different then. With all the social media, with everything we have available to us now, GPS is on our phone. That's not a fair comparison. And if you were holding your present girlfriend by the standard set by your grandparents, you should stay single, because that's not fair, because she didn't grow up in the same time period as your grandparents, and she wouldn't even begin to understand those values or morals that they carried back then. That is something that we have to teach our youth again. We need to reteach the adults, because we forgot. It's like magic. We all forgot that it exists. And we've just grown accustomed to living. What's that movie? Sorry, I'm a Disney person. With the magic. But
is it with Mickey Mouse? He has the magic wand and all that? You talking about that one?
Oh, it's where he's a wizard and he finds out that his dad was magic. It's a really good film. But it's
okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's just, we have to be able to go on the journey to refine the magic, and we have to get out of the selfish mindset, because I'm sorry, as a wife,
is it Fantasia?
That's the Mickey Mouse one. This is with the elves, and like everybody forgot that they're magic, and through his journey he finds, and everybody, it's just, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's 2 brothers, And they go on a journey. Their dad disappeared and he gets to come back for like one night. Because they find this special stone. But anyway, I digress. You know, we aren't in a space to share our toys anymore. We don't want to because we're afraid of what we're going to lose, not realizing that we came from nothing. So why are we working so hard to get this tangible stuff that could be taken away tomorrow? We're not worried about the connections. And we're not worried about the connections because we can't talk about our emotions, because if you talk to a female about your emotions, you're a sissy. If I talk to a man about my emotions, I'm a nagging person. Where do we have the time to actually bond and get to know each other if we're coming in with all these stereotypes and preconceived notions of what a relationship should be? Because we all are looking backwards instead of looking just right here.
No, listen, I am not disagreeing with your sentiment, right? I'm not disagreeing with your sentiment, and half of the things I'm saying, I'm kind of joking around, lightweight. I'm kind of joking around lightweight, but I got to do that because it's just part of the show, whatever. Please, everybody, please understand that sometimes I say these things because I want to build intrigue, but some of these things are true though, right? I do feel at times, but I think also for women too, I think men don't, what I'm saying? Yeah, RT, I know. There's times where, men are not, we're not cognizant or aware of everything that a woman got to go through, right? We're not thinking about what they got to go through as well, right? Oh, go ahead, family, I'm listening.
It's called Onward.
Onward, okay.
That's the movie I'm speaking of. But if people don't even catch that reference, I could take it back even further. Remember when Tinkerbell lost her magic and everybody just had to believe, and then all of a sudden she got all her magic back and she could fly? That's what we need right now. We need people to start believing again so we can all get our magic back.
When I think about when you're taking it real bad.
I'm old. I'm okay with that. We need to start being nicer to our men. We need to embrace the fact that women are trying to step up into a space that they've never been before. And a lot of men are threatened by that. And that's what's creating the discord. Women are now they are the ones with the financial independence. It doesn't have to be that way. Money is not the most important thing. And we have to be able to have those discussions. Otherwise, we're going to always end up in these speed date type relationships, because as soon as we see a red flag, we're like, I'm out. Not realizing that we are the red flag. And we're recognizing our own behavior in the person that we're with.
That's a good point. A lot of times we can be in our own way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times that can't happen. A lot of times that does happen, where we are literally in our own way and we are literally stopping our own progress. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, family, I definitely enjoyed this discussion. This is only our first discussion. We're gonna be seeing y'all more on Fridays, all right? So get used to this, okay? Get used to this, because we're gonna be true to this, all right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Are we going to share that we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about relationships too? I really think that opening up perspectives is going to be beneficial, not to take advice, because we don't want to give anybody advice. However, sometimes stepping out of our own selfish view will kind of change the path that we may not want to go down.
And I think I have a name for our segment. You know what I'm saying? And Dee Dee Teller, thank you. You're welcome, and thank you so much for pulling up as well. You know what I mean? Can't wait for you to come up on the panel again and grace us with your presence. It was great when you was on here the first time. You were sharing, your activism and just how you really impact the community. Thank you for doing that, sister. I really appreciate you. Doing what you do in the community and actually being a force. But yeah, with that being said, like I said, Fridays, we're gonna be bringing you some more stuff. About relationships, about different things that's going on. And I think it's just to bring awareness to different things and to have adult talks that are not combative. You know what I mean? Now, of course, we know at times it may get a little emotional. Somebody may say something that is a little off kilter. You know what I mean? As long as they're not disrespectful, that's cool. You know what I mean? So, and we're not gonna always agree. Like we ain't always agree tonight, right? You know what I mean? Like I said, but I was partly joking, y'all. All right, y'all know I joke sometimes, and I like to have my fun. And I got some fun topics coming up for y'all too on our channel. So look out for the fun topics as well. I got something coming up real soon. You know what I mean? With evolution, we're gonna do like a fun topic, and I'm probably a fun topic overall.
How are you going to say, oh, I think I have a name for our segment, and then you just go on this long soliloquy about not the name?
Because I don't want to unleash the name. I want people to see the name. I don't want them.
Okay. See,
I don't want y'all out there trying to steal my stuff. Because I know y'all may try to steal something before I even put it up here. So y'all be doing that too sometimes. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I still love y'all. Much love. But yeah, I'm gonna craft something real quick, and it's something that I think that we can do on Fridays, just to kind of, Fridays when everybody get home, we chilling. We're gonna have probably a long work week, or trying to find work week, or trying to find whatever week, or school week, right? Because a lot of us are in school too. So as we're going through our process, we need just a time to unwind. Especially, since the weather's getting colder. I know a lot of y'all are home, right? You can't really go out, or you don't want to go out, right? Because it's too cold or it's snowing or whatever. You want to be in your house. So, yeah, come over here. It's going to be me, Goddess, and whoever else decides to pull up and give us love. Salute to Grizz, man. I really appreciate Grizz coming through, sharing about his marriage, sharing about his perspective, giving us a lot of that wisdom. And he gave us a lot of wisdom, too. I think it was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. He came up here on Wednesday doing Me and Evolution show, and he gave us a lot of wisdom just about, where he's been, how he's been, and what he's gone through. So salute to him. But I'm gonna let Sis take it away, and then I'm gonna drop that outro. All right, y'all know what time it is, man. It's time for us to break out. But Sis, go ahead and give your final remarks, and we're gonna be out of here.
So I just want to say, please follow me here on YouTube under Deconstructed Goddess. You can also find me on TikTok under that handle as well. I am active on Instagram. I have a show, Love You to Life, that I do on Thursdays. And now I have this show on Fridays. And then my show, Unhinged While Anchored, will return in January. And that'll be available on Tuesdays. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for waking up today. I love you, and be nice. It's easy.